Good evening. It is Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington. This is the Best Land of Sports Show. I'm your host, David Lamb. With me is my son, Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
All right. Wednesday night crowd is always good. We like Wednesday night crowds. It could be the free beer. I'm not going to lie. We got Formula One, college football, NFL. If we got time, we'll talk about something else. But that pretty much monopolizes our time in the fall. Does it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It very much does, as it should.
It
It's
does.
the broadest, most important thing to, well, like America.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, we could also talk about. Yeah. Hold on. I just had it up. What's her name's 44 points for Notre Dame last night.
in a college women's basketball game.
Oh my God! So she scored 44 points in 28 minutes. Hold on, and see, my world is super slow now because I can't bring anything up when I don't already have it up in any kind of quick fashion. Yeah, that's the problem here. Portland Trailblazers leading New Orleans 104-89, 15-point lead with 9 minutes to go in the fourth. By the way, if you're a Portland Trailblazers fan, they are 5-5 on the season. But anyway, let me get to women's college basketball. And again, my computer is just the slowest. Hannah Hidalgo for Notre Dame in an 85-58 win over Akron. Akron's 0-3, to be fair. They're not great. 44 points, 16 steals, and 9 rebounds.
Cool.
16 steals, by the way. She only had one personal foul. I'm gonna just throw out the BS card right now and say you can't get 16 steals without fouling some people.
1,000%.
So, but all right. So she set a NCAA women's record with 16 steals, but she almost had a triple. She didn't even get a triple double, but because she only got 9 rebounds. But I mean, that's a big deal. Congratulations to her. I mean, it was a great night. 44 points by anybody in any game is a pretty good night. So I'm not upset about it. How was your day?
Not bad. Just getting everything ready to travel this weekend to go on a cruise. So,
Yeah, that's right. You're heading out this weekend. Where are you guys going?
so we're flying to Sao Paulo, and then from there we're going to 6 different islands.
Wow.
So, or sorry, 5 different islands. So, St. Thomas, St. Martin, St. Croix, Barbados, and there's somewhere else in there.
Awesome.
So there's a whole bunch of places. Yeah, I've been asked this so many times, and I still have not once opened my app to actually look, because I don't give a shit. I'm not getting off the boat.
Well, but still, you're gonna be.
I'm gonna sit on the boat and I'm gonna work on my tan.
You're gonna be there, though. I mean, even if you're
It's
not
true.
off the boat, you're gonna be
I'll
there.
look at it from the boat. Yeah, I don't think if I don't plan on getting off the boat, I don't have to go through customs. So
that's a good point. That's
are you actually there if you didn't go through customs?
Yes. Physically, you're there. I mean, you're only 100 yards away from.
But legally, you're not there.
Legally, right? No, that's true. That's a good point. Let's talk about Formula One real quick. So they were in Sao Paulo, which is interesting track. It's not necessarily the best passing track. There's a lot of not good passing tracks in Formula One. Why don't they make them better? That's a good question, right?
Well, making a new track isn't easy. Well, that's not true. It's fucking pavement. Like, making a new track is simple. Every single year, Vegas makes a new track through the middle of their city. Like, they repave every single year. So no, that's a dumb answer for
right.
a $1 billion industry. Yeah, right. Make a new track.
Make the track you have better, wider, something. Make it so it's more convenient for passing, because that's what we want to see, right? We want to see people passing each other, fighting for position, right? And if the pack goes around and there's 20 cars and they're all in the same order for 70 laps, that's boring. Nobody wants to see that. Anyway,
the question is has the track ever been widened, or has it always stayed the same size? Because if it's always been the same size, then the reason why is because it's designed for cars from the 1970s or whatever.
And that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they changed the cars, and the cars are definitely faster than they used to be.
Faster and bigger, yeah.
And, yeah. So you got to make room for them, and I don't know. There's a lot of tracks that are like this, that are from back in the day, and they don't adjust for what they do now, which is go faster and they're wider and they make more aggressive moves and you know what I mean? It needs to be a wider track. It needs to be or longer or more DRS zone or whatever. Straighten it out a little bit, whatever. I'm not saying making it like NASCAR. I do not want an oval or a tri-oval.
Well,
or
ovals
whatever.
aren't great for passing because you just maintain speed the whole time. And
Well,
like,
yeah, but if you got DRS, that's what NASCAR doesn't have, which is DRS, right? They got
yeah.
drafting, but they don't have DRS.
But all they do, like, if it's just an oval or a bunch of straightaways, all you're gonna do is get DRS, then the other guy's gonna get DRS and take it back,
Right.
and the other guy's gonna get DRS
In
and take
theory,
it back.
right? Yeah,
At some point, you gotta have some curves. Yeah, I don't want ovals either.
I do. I want a road track. I want curves. I want some narrow spots. I do, but I don't want them all to be narrow. I don't want that like there's no
Baku's
chance.
almost a perfect track
It
in
is.
terms of like it's got good passing spots, it's got great corners,
Right.
it's got that little castle thing that you drive through that
Yeah.
that's super tight. Like
It's cool looking, right?
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean-
cool looking. It's got the hardest 90-degree. I guess that's technically it's 180 total. 2 90-degree turns back to back.
Yeah. It's
So
I
up
like
there.
and I like watching Baku. That is a great track to watch. That is a good example, as opposed to Monaco, which is you only have to watch qualifying.
it's parade.
I mean, whoever's in first, if they don't crash themselves, they're going to win
Yeah.
for the most part. I mean, it is so hard to pass. That's my whole point. Is I don't like that. I don't want to see that. What I want to see is somebody who's fifth or sixth or seventh has a chance to win because they can actually pass somebody. Anyway,
Yeah.
we had a sprint race in this one. Lando Norris qualified first in the sprint qualifying. Kimi Antonelli, Oscar Piastri were 1, 2, 3. However, Piastri had a crash, had to retire in the sprint race, which he seems to be having an issue with that, right? I mean, not necessarily always his fault, but okay. So Lando ends up winning the sprint race. Antonelli second. Russell finishes third, Verstappen fourth. So Lando, who was the leader coming into this, barely lengthens his lead by 8 points, right? Because Oscar Piastri doesn't finish, which makes it even more exciting, right? So now we're tightening up because Max is passing, getting closer to Piastri, not necessarily Norris, who's now pulling away, right? Verstappen was chasing Piastri for how long? 5 or 6, 7 races, right? And then all of a sudden now he's chasing Norris. So, yeah, McLaren's in a good position. But anyway, that's all I was saying was, yeah. Lando
Norris had a rough couple races, rough last 5 races or whatever it is. So.
Yeah. So Lando finishes first in qualifying for the regular race. Kimi Antonelli second again. Leclerc third. Piastri did finish fourth in the qualifying. And then you had Verstappen, who actually didn't make it out of Q1. But I don't know if that was by design because they changed the power unit on his car. So he started from pit lane anyway for the race.
Well, he didn't make it out of Q1, and then they decided. Right. Yeah, that's what I saw earlier when I was reading through it and we were chatting. I said that that was a really smart move with the rule book. Was that they decided to change his power unit and take a penalty that didn't matter.
It's hard. But for me, it's hard to tell whether the power unit was causing you trouble, and you decided that just go do what you do, and wherever you finish, we're going to change the power unit, right? Unless you're first. And then, or was it, we know that we're going to change the power unit, so you don't really need to try.
Would Oscar Piastri have been second in this race without the 10-second penalty?
So
he would have been third. He would have been third.
He would have been third. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, he would have finished. No, he would have been second.
Because I'm seeing
he's 15. He was 15 seconds back. 15.7 back of Norris.
So he would have been 5 seconds behind Norris, which would have been 5 seconds ahead of Kimi.
Second, right.
Which would have made that race tighter.
It would have made.
So Oscar had a second place finish, but he had a freaking penalty hanging over him the whole race.
But to be fair, he did. He went in hard after the yellow flag restart. He went in hard around Kimi Antonelli on the inside, locked up, and then hit Antonelli, who then hit Norris. Antonelli survived the whole thing. Or not Norris, but he hit Leclerc. Sorry. And Leclerc, yes, this was all because Gabriel Bortoleto can't stay on the track. But
Freaking Gabby.
right, Gabby, is that what we're gonna call him, Gabby? Uh, anyway, so Leclerc gets retired immediately after that happened because Leclerc's got major damage. Antonelli escapes major damage, which was to me amazing because Piastri is coming in hot. You could see he locks up. There's smoke. He hits
Ooh,
him.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah,
The smoke doesn't occur until Antonelli starts to try and shut the door on him.
he did. Yeah, he did try and shut the door on him, but he honestly he's got to go that way anyway. That's the way the track goes. He's got to go down and in, and then for the next corner, right? Which is right.
So it's interesting because Antonelli, Lando's on the racing line to the outside cutting in, and then back to the out because it's an out in out.
Right.
But Charles Leclerc is the next person on the racing line. Antonelli's to the inside left of him,
Right.
and Oscar's to the inside left of him. So Antonelli can't go any further in.
Right.
Oscar can't go any further in. And Charles Leclerc, actually, now that I'm looking at this, was almost in the middle of the track with two cars stacked to the left of him.
He was.
But the thing is, where the contact occurs in the center of the car, that means that Oscar's car was halfway up Antonelli's car when contact occurred, which means Antonelli is, if you want to look at the rule book,
hold on,
supposed to give you the space.
If you look at the rule book, though, if you lock up and then make contact, then you are at fault because you didn't have control.
Did you lock up to avoid contact?
Doesn't
or
matter.
Lock up because you made a mistake and then it caused contact.
Understood. It doesn't matter. You didn't have control of your car, is what they're going to tell you, because you had to lock it up, and nobody else locked it up. You did. So since you had to lock it up, you realized you were wrong. You realized something was wrong. Locked the car up and then made contact. So you're going to be at fault no matter what. That's the way
I guess maybe because I've seen guys lock up and make contact.
I'm not saying that it didn't. I'm not saying that it's uniformly enforced. I'm just saying that's the way it says. So yeah, and because they went over it on the race, and I watched it, and that is exactly what happened. He went in hard, down low. He was gonna make it around, but Kimi started to move in, but honestly, Kimi didn't have too far to go back out because there's Leclerc. Yes, he's coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Leclerc was just bad luck. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time because if Antonelli doesn't get hit, then Leclerc probably makes that move around the outside.
I'm looking at still images. I'm looking at a couple different things.
Yeah.
This is exactly why the rules of F1 kind of suck.
Yeah.
Because you can make 6 arguments. Like, I'm looking at the picture where Oscar first started to put on his brakes, and Kimi his left front is almost touching the line, and Oscar is on the line, which means Kimi is diving in front of him.
He is
to stay on Lando Norris's ass, which that's what he's trying to do. I get it. You're supposed to try and do it, but
and it
just puts everyone in a bad spot.
And he's also trying to avoid Leclerc, who's coming in from the outside, right? Because Leclerc's trying to come in. So yeah, I mean,
this is just
it's a mess. Cluster. Which is honestly, I would have been okay had they said this is just a racing incident.
Since both of them kept going,
right?
The two of them, but you have to But somehow, this is what they did was they penalized Oscar for Leclerc going out of the
race. They exactly.
And that's a quirky way to do that by just bypassing Kimi Antonelli altogether, as if he has no blame at all in this whole scenario.
They all three, and in my opinion, all 3 of them have blame. Right? I mean, there's something you guys are all. You could have done something differently. Well, Oscar didn't need to try and gun it inside, knowing everyone's going to come from right to left, right?
Yeah.
And then Kimi's kind of pinched. I'm going to give him a little bit of a pass in that he's in the middle.
He's in the worst spot.
He's in the worst spot. People. Yeah, but he's also in the lead of both of those guys. He's also ahead of both of those guys. So but he's being pinched from the outside, from the inside. What's he supposed to do, right? And then Charles got kind of bad luck because
bad news bears for Charles.
I mean, he just happened to be right where the contact was going to be made. It was exciting. I mean, but that's the whole race in a nutshell. That part, right, and then all we had left was how far up is Max going to move? He started from pit lane because he changed his power unit. How far up is he going to come? He was a beneficiary of multiple yellow flags. Also, good tire decisions, good pit decisions. He is one of only 3 people who pitted more than twice. And if you an extra pit stop, even if it's under yellow or a virtual safety car, is still 15 seconds, right? The main one is like 22 or 23, but it's still
Yeah.
quite a bit. So being able to, and he finished 10 seconds behind Lando. Think about that. If he could manage to do it on a two stop, he probably would have
Right.
won.
Probably.
Yeah, but anyway, he still finished third.
Wild
Makes it
race.
exciting. Makes it exciting. It was a wild race. Lando Norris first, Kimi Antonelli second, Max Verstappen third, George Russell, there he is, vanilla in fourth. But Piastri did manage to finish in fifth. He didn't lose too many points to Lando Norris. But here's my question. Is all of this happening because McLaren wants Lando Norris to win? Is that the reason we think all of this is going on?
I mean,
It looks like
I
it.
think I said to Mom the other day when I was chatting with her about it, I was like, there's three possibilities here. Either one, Lando pulled his head out of his ass and has actually always been the best driver on the grid.
Right.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Two, Oscar put his head in his ass and is currently like running the opposite direction from a title because he's scared or whatever. Like, the pressure's too great. Call it what you want. Or three, McLaren has designs for their boy, who they had long before Oscar, who Zach Brown got a tattoo with, to try and make him a title, a title person.
Is that what you think? Is the tattoo has got something to do with that? They're boys.
I'm just saying, Christian Horner liked Max Verstappen. They weren't getting tattoos together. Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton were best friends. No. They weren't out there getting tattoos. But Zach Brown was chugging 40s and getting track tattoos with Lando Norris. So it seems like there's a they're homies.
I am gonna say this: of those three team principals, Zach Brown would be the one. Yeah, yeah, he's the one that I would want to go partying with. By the way, of the three, I mean, I would like to see
of those three drivers.
Yeah,
Lando's the one I want to go partying with too.
I would like to see Toto doing that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Anyway, that's funny. Anyway, so long story short, all this happens. What does that mean for everything? We got 3 races left. Lando Norris with 390 points. Oscar Piastri with 366. He's 24 points back. That's anybody's game, right?
Yeah.
And then Max is at 341. He's 49 points back. He's not so far back that this is not doable. There are 83 points left to get total max points. If you won all 3 races and sprint race, 83 points.
Yeah.
So it's out there. It still could happen. Max is probably as far down as you go. I don't think George is. He's out, right? All right. So our Microsoft Teams is kind of having some issues. So I don't know what happened. Are you calling? I see. Here we go. Now this is fun, right? We got to open it back up. So just FYI, guys. Microsoft Teams causing us some grief. Don't know what it's doing. I don't know what's going on, but we're trying to figure this out as we go. And hopefully we'll get Parker back here with us so we can finish talking about this. I'm trying to make this work. And where is my call button? Yeah, no internet. Literally, my thing says I have no internet. So thanks for the help, Xfinity. Just decided, nah, you ain't got no internet. This is awesome. Reconnect to keep the conversation going. Trying. That's a whole thing. So, anyway, if you weren't listening, that's the standings. Norris, Piastri, Verstappen. George Russell, I think, is mathematically eliminated. He is 114 points out with only 80-something points to go. So I don't think anything can happen with him. But, you never know. And so here we are. I think we're connected again finally. We're going to try and call Parker and see what happened. I don't know why, but, things happen, and technical difficulties are part of the Best M Sports Show. So we got Parker coming back here, I think.
Yep,
there he is. And I apologize. My internet just said no. It literally popped up a thing. It started to go funky, and you were gone, and then all of a sudden it said no internet, and I was like, what? what? Anyway, so it is what it is. That technical difficulties are part of the thing.
Yeah,
So
we were on a hot streak though. We had gone like 6 episodes without a technical difficulty. So we were due for one.
we were due. You're not wrong. Anyway, I was just telling the people that it's Norris, it's Piastri, it's Verstappen. There's three. It's a 3-man race. George Russell is mathematically eliminated. I don't
Yeah.
think he can catch anybody. So he's out. Probably going to finish fourth. He is still 62 points ahead of Leclerc with what did I say? 83 points left. So he's probably going to finish fourth. Leclerc is far enough ahead. He's going to finish fifth. Those guys are kind of locked in, and so on from there. But anyway, I'm not looking forward to Las Vegas, although they do have a sprint race, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't. Las Vegas is not my favorite race. It's cool. Their curbs are the best, right? Their little poker, their little card suit
suits.
curbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. But I would rather watch Qatar and Abu Dhabi at the end. Those are good races to watch. But anyway, hopefully it'll be tight. Hopefully it's going to be a 3-person race, even with like one race left. I would love to see that it's 3 guys have a chance and it all settles on the last race. I mean,
Yeah.
we all would, I think. Because
Yeah.
honestly, I don't care who wins this. Do you have a favorite of those guys? If it was Norris, Piastri, or Verstappen, do you have a favorite? Is there one you're rooting for?
Well, I'm rooting for Piastri. I've been rooting for Piastri all season,
Okay.
but that's only because I like his trajectory of being like he steps in and then he's done nothing but get better each year. And then this year he started the season so hot. Again, if it wasn't for a crazy spin out in Australia and then some weird pit stop strategies here and there, I don't even think we're talking about Lando Norris right now. I think it's already done.
Yeah,
But
you're right.
it got kept tight all year for one reason or another, conspiracy theory or not. It got kept tight all year. A 10-second penalty given to Oscar at Silverstone gave Lando a win and bumped him down. Like all these little things just keep happening. Oscar should have been second this race. A 10-second penalty keeps Max in it. Like there's all these little things that just keep occurring. So I don't know. I'm rooting for Oscar, but ultimately I'm a McLaren fan. So if McLaren wins, I'm happy. I don't have any ill feelings towards Lando. I like Oscar better. I like his demeanor better. I think he's more fun.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. I agree. You know what? I don't care who wins. Any of them wins. Max has won too many times, so if it's Lando
It's
or
getting
Piastri,
old,
then I'm
yeah.
okay with that. But I don't have any ill will towards Max necessarily. If he wins again, okay.
I would have
Um,
loved it if like an Ollie Bierman just
oh,
came
we
out of the gate this
we
year and went crazy.
we
Kimi
root
Antonelli, somebody like that.
we root for Ollie B every weekend, and it just doesn't seem to work out, right? I mean, they're young, they're rookies, I get it, and they got a lot to learn. And but yeah, it's Antonelli, it's Ollie B, it's Isaac Hadjar has done a great job this year. I
Yeah.
mean, I like to see him get more. He's probably going to be the number 2 next year, I would imagine. I can't imagine them going with Yuki another season. I just can't. But I mean, not that it's not gonna. Maybe Yuki has a sugar daddy like Lance Stroll has a dad that owns. Maybe he's donating a lot of money. I don't know. I'm just saying. It seems
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens after the season because if Oscar leaves McLaren, which he's under contract, but that doesn't mean he can't leave, or it doesn't mean he can
Right.
leave, or they won't cut him or whatever. If Oscar leaves, that will tell you Oscar's feelings about McLaren, which means that there was
Right.
something going on that we couldn't see as fans that
Right.
that made Oscar go, I would rather go to a worse team because unless you go to Red Bull, you're going to a worse team, or maybe Mercedes possibly, but
Right.
you're going to a worse team. I'd rather go to a worse team than stay here,
Yeah.
which is not a great endorsement for the team. So that's kind of a quirky one, but who knows what'll happen next year
On
though.
on a more superficial note, the
Super
Gulf livery with the light blue
slick.
continues to dominate. That's like, and you're seeing the Williams one, right? That has the Gulf livery this week.
You have to share your screen with me.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to redo it. That's right. 'Cause
Redo it,
We
yep.
had a thingy thing.
Yep.
Hold on, everybody, hold on.
But yeah, the Gulf livery. The only thing I don't like is that it bounces around because
Right.
McLaren did it one year. Williams has done it a couple of years. It's like, who does it belong to? Which
Right.
team am I
Yeah,
looking
it
at?
doesn't seem like there's rhyme or reason to
It's because Golf sponsored everyone and their mums for years.
and everyone their mums is packing around here. Um yeah, I that's still one of my favorite movies in the history of movies. All right, let's see what we got. Are we getting anything? We're not getting anything? How did it not go? I shared it. Do you not see it?
Nope.
What is happening?
That's all right. I don't need to see it. We
Eh,
can just roll through.
all right. But anyway, yeah, the Gulf livery. I also like that, and I can't remember who it was now we're talking about it. It wasn't Williams. It wasn't Haas. So it must have been Alpine. Alpine, which normally has like the purple, or not the
Yeah.
purple, the pink and the blue. They had a yellow thrown in there. You notice, like,
Oh, yeah. It was like a Senna thing.
yeah, and it looked really good. I like that one too. It was a
Yeah.
multicolored and it looked really good. 'Cause it was more Brazil, I guess, because Brazil's color is
Brazil.
purple, yellow,
Yeah.
whatever. But the yellow thrown on it added a touch of color. I love it when they throw a different touch of color onto those things. You know, things you don't see McLaren do unless they go Gulf. But anyway,
Well, no. McLaren has the best alternate livery of all time.
do they?
That was the 2024 Monaco Grand Prix one that was Senna themed.
Oh, well,
And
okay.
it was green, yellow, and blue. That was gorgeous.
Yeah,
It
well,
is
they
still
had.
my favorite.
Yeah, I get it. But I mean, they don't do it on a. Why don't? Never mind. It's not
Brand
like
new
it's
sponsorship, possibly.
it's not like yeah, it could be. It's not like football teams where they have a whole nother uniform they wear. You know, we're gonna wear alternates this week, and they got 25 weeks, right? They do this 24 weeks, whatever they do, 24 races. You could do multiple liveries, but I get it. It costs a little money to change the color. I understand that. I feel like
A little, yeah.
I feel like these teams are not hurting for money. That's not a thing.
Well,
Because and I'll tell you why I think that. These bottom 5 teams, the midfield on down, right? Maybe
Yeah.
bottom 6 teams, can afford to have guys crash out every week and destroy a car,
It's-
right?
Well, I don't know if I'd say that they can afford it because
Someone's paying for it.
Hold on. There's a reason why Audi's taking over a team because that team can no longer afford to keep doing this.
I
There's a
understand.
reason why Kick Sauber took over a team because Renault can no longer afford to keep crashing out cars.
Yeah.
The
but
money runs dry eventually.
I feel like they're like, I got enough. You know what I mean? It's okay. We wrecked out one driver 6 straight weeks. That's okay, and we're still racing. So, I mean, that's a lot of money. That's when a car hits a wall, that's a lot of freaking money. Anyway,
They're just vinyl, I think. Like I don't even think they're not painted. I think it's literally like a body
like a
wrap.
sticker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think that's what
It
it
could
is.
be.
I don't think they're actual.
And that would make
you
it
know.
easier. I mean, I get it, but it also, and you've seen them when they tape the seams to limit the air, you know,
The drag reduction.
the drag
tape.
reduction tape. Yeah, and I get it. But if you had a sticker over top or a wrap, you'd still have to put on that tape around that stuff, right? Because it would have just a 1/16 of an inch lip, right? That would cause drag, whatever. Anyway, I mean, these people spare no expense in terms of fixing things to make it aerodynamic, and yet they still crash into shit, and they still manage to have a team. I don't know.
Okay, so here's what I'm reading. The normal livery, like the normal car setup, is painted.
Yeah.
On almost all of them. The majority of special edition liveries are wraps, are vinyl wraps.
That makes sense.
Which to me feels like you're putting the wrap over the top of the paint. There's got to be some aerodynamic trade-off.
Yeah.
By making the car a fraction of a millimeter thicker, but
and weight, which isn't like, I know it's not a lot, but it's still weight.
But that also explains why sometimes they'll do a livery where they only change like a couple things, so they just put that vinyl over those few spots to make it look a little different. But I don't know. Yeah, strange.
All right, let's move on.
Let's
move on. College football. Ducks played their first ever game at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa, and managed to come away with an 18-16 victory. I want to say that Nick Saban said some bad things about this game, and that Oregon didn't look like a title contender because of blah 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 blah. Right? This wasn't a
Wyersy,
yeah. And I'm sitting here saying, how many teams have gone into Kinnick Stadium and had their title hopes die? Because Iowa's defense is so good and it's so hard to win there. This game was rainy. It was windy. It was a bad weather game, right? And Oregon, by all rights, didn't play great, but Iowa's defense is very good and they play well at home. But they managed to find a way. One great pass at the end of the game, one well-placed pass.
What a dime that was.
Oh my gosh. That pass by Dante Moore was I don't even have words to say, but the defender never turned around. So that was part of it, right? It gets in there, sneaks in there. That was a huge play. And then to have the kicking game come up huge, which I've always been a what's the word?
Critic?
Oh, that's gentle. That's gentle. I've been a critic of the Oregon kicking game
the other word would be
forever. Yeah, hater's probably right. I'm probably been a hater. I'm going to admit that. Because they've lost chances for national championship games on kicks, right? That should be made.
Going back to 2011.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, but so, long story short, they managed to come away with the win. It's 18-16 at a top 20 CFP opponent, right? How do you not understand that that's a great win? No matter how your quarterback only threw for 112 yards, 13 of 21 for 112 with an interception.
Yeah.
But the running game managed to compile the most. It was 200 and let's find it out. It's 261 yards rushing at Iowa. It's the most rushing yards at Iowa in 30 plus years. Right? That's a dominant performance. Noah Whittington with 17 carries, 118 yards, right? And they were running the ball very, very well. So I understand why you think that they didn't look great because they didn't blow out Iowa, but Iowa's not a team to be messed with. I don't care who you are at Iowa, right?
Yeah.
I mean, on the road. That's not a team you can just take lightly. Oregon didn't look great. Their running game still looked pretty damn good.
Still looks solid, yeah.
7.3 yards a carry.
It's also worth noting that Oregon was missing DeCorian Moore
and
Kenyon Sadiq.
Yep. Yeah. So without your two top receivers, that makes it a lot harder, right?
Makes it a little harder, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, long story.
And wind.
Yeah, and wind and rain. It was so ugly. That was an ugly football game. Anyway, but Oregon manages to escape and somehow fell in the AP poll. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right? They fell a notch in the AP poll and moved up in the CFP poll. I don't know how that happens. I don't know who's voting on this shit. I don't know how they come up with the crap. It doesn't make any sense to me that these guys say, "Oh, they're better than they were." Well, BYU lost, so that helped Oregon move up, right?
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, we'll talk about that in a minute. But Oregon plays Minnesota this week at home. They're a 25.5 point favorite. Do you buy 25.5 point favorite against a 6-3 Minnesota team?
Not lately.
You don't feel great about it, right?
Yeah. If DeCorian Moore's back, Kenyon Sadiq's are back, I can see a way that we could get to that point where we could get to a 20-point lead, 20-plus point lead.
Right.
But I mean, our last three games were this game where we scored 18, mind you. Shit show, minus bad players, great or what's it called, minusing your good players, playing a good defense,
right? On
the road, craziness. Last game where we whooped the crap out of who?
Last game, Wisconsin. Well, we didn't.
Oh no, sorry. Then not that one. We played Wisconsin at home and didn't do great.
Didn't do great.
And then the
Rutgers.
game before that, where we whooped the crap out of Rutgers. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, of the last three games, we've played two bad teams, but we've split performances against those bad teams. You can call Wisconsin bad. They're not bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so I'm nervous about
Wisconsin.
I wouldn't take 25.
Wisconsin beat Washington this week.
Yeah. And they almost beat Oregon, then turned around and beat Washington.
Right. So they're not a terrible team. Wisconsin always seems to be also one of those teams that can run the ball well. They play good defense. If you can limit the amount of possessions for the opponent, you have a chance. And that's what this was an Iowa game. This game for Oregon, this was Iowa. This was
Iowa
everything.
Football.
Yeah, everything Iowa could have wanted. Limited possessions, terrible weather, right? And they still the punt the the bad snap on the punt helped a lot. Let's be fair.
All right. Do you agree with him kicking it like out of the back?
I mean, yes, you absolutely have to if you're
I
the punter.
thought he had an opportunity to grab it,
He
to
tried to.
fall on it at the 1 or the 2.
Well, he tried to reach down, but I don't know if that was inside or outside of the end zone. I can't remember. But he tried to reach down and grab it, but he only reached down with one hand. He didn't try and fall on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it looked like he was trying to kind of bat it. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But then he tried to kick it once, missed it, and then he tried to kick it again, and he actually got it on the second try.
Yeah, he actually popped it on the second one.
At that point, when it's in the end zone, yes, you need to kick it out of the end zone because if they fall on it, it's a touchdown. You don't want that. So, yes, there might have been an opportunity sooner for him to fall on the football, but it was wet, it was nasty, it was bouncing. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's not an automatic. It's not like, oh, I'll just fall on it. But you've seen guys try and fall on the football, and
I'm watching it right now. So he puts his hands on it with one hand, and it's at about the 1.5, 2.
Yeah. So
now you're probably still going to give up a touchdown off of that.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, because if you manage to come up with it, by the time you come up with it, you're at the goal line, right? Maybe in the end zone. And yeah.
And then he does. He whiffs.
He whiffs on the first one, and the second one he kicks it. Yeah. 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 He absolutely did the right thing in kicking out of the end zone.
I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I get why I don't get why he reached down with one hand instead of falling on it.
I don't understand that one either.
If your goal is that I'd rather give up if it's going through your brain that fast, I'd rather give up 2 now
than 7, yeah.
And put our defense back on the field than even down at the 1 and probably give up 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. If that's the logic that went through his head over the course of the 6 seconds that lasted, then great.
Again, I don't know that you have much thought process when you're a punter and the ball is scooting away and you're running as fast as you can to go get it, knowing.
Shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what the thought process is. There's no absolutely great logic. You're just going, oh, damn it. How do I get this away from them, right? And kicking it, patting it, whatever. And they got a penalty. He got a penalty for batting or whatever, because he tried. Kicking it out of the end zone is technically illegal too. So it is what it is. But it doesn't.
Interesting.
Matter. Yeah.
Wait, I didn't get to see that live. I saw the replay of that. Did Oregon decline the penalty that would have given him the ball at the 1 yard line?
It wouldn't.
Take the safety.
No, it wouldn't have mattered, because of the way it happened. The batting, I don't think was referring to him with his hand on the ball. I think that they still consider that a fumble, like a loose ball. He didn't get it. He didn't try and smack it. Like he tried to pick it up.
Yeah.
So it's still a fumble.
He tried to pick it up, but I'd say that was the worst attempt at picking.
Oh, it was a bad idea. Yeah. No, it was not great.
The way he did it looks like he slapped it.
He tried to get it, but he tried to I think he was trying to flip it up to himself. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I think they're giving him credit, like, okay, that's still a fumble. It's still a loose ball. But when he tried to kick it out of the end zone, now it becomes a batting, technically. I mean, you can't just kick it out of the end zone because that's illegal. So that's where it happens. And I don't think it matters whether
penalty in the end zone, so it's a safety one way or another.
Either way, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They call the penalty. It's in the end zone. You can take it. It's a safety. Or you can decline it. It's a safety. So it is what it is. But it was 2 points, and that made the end of the score. The score at the end of the first quarter 2-0, which crazy, right? And when I saw that, and I couldn't watch this game. I didn't watch it in real time. I could only see highlights, and I watched the score, and the play-by-play. But it was 2-0, and I was like 2-0. I was like, oh, this is right. This is an Iowa game, and I'm like, okay. It was 12-7 Oregon at the half. 15-7 Oregon at the end of the 3. And the fourth quarter got interesting, right? Because Iowa took the lead. Yeah, Iowa took the lead. With a 16-15 lead, right? They took
it late, yeah.
Yeah, late. And then Oregon, that drive down the field at the end of the game was amazing. It was almost picture perfect. And that's why you have Dante Moore, right, as talked about as a Heisman, because that was under pressure on the road, bad weather. Down 2 in a game you have to win to keep your CFP hopes alive. If Oregon loses this,
leading an absolute gem of a drive.
Yeah, and he did. It was perfect, and he made a beautiful strike, and then they kick a field goal. I don't like these kind of games, by the way.
Yeah, they stress me out.
They're stressful. They are. They're very stressful. But anyway,
because I was working a scrimmage, I was allowed to have my phone on the bench, so I kept peeking at it occasionally, and I was, and yeah,
Yeah.
I was stressing it. I was trying to let it get to me while I was working, but I was like,
Or-
eh.
Oregon plays Minnesota Saturday. It's 6 p.m. Pacific, Friday. Sorry, 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central. If you're in Denver, but Oregon's still right there. Oregon's probably not going to play for the Big Ten title. We kind of know that, right? It's Indiana and Ohio State. Those two don't play really anybody left, right? Oregon has a chance with 3 teams with winning records. This is Minnesota, USC, who's ranked, and at Washington to end the season to make a little bit of a statement. Not that that's great, not a great schedule, but those are good teams. It's not like they're beating bad teams. They're going to beat some good teams to get there. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. I'll talk about more. Are you ready?
Anything else?
Go ahead.
The only thing that works in Oregon's favor is that Oregon doesn't play Ohio State and Ohio State plays Michigan. So let's say Ohio State does the Classic.
They do struggle against Michigan, yeah.
Oregon and Ohio State will have the same conference record.
That'll be interesting. I don't know how they break that.
You'll have to decide with common opponents, but in this scenario, we would have beaten all our common opponents. Yep. They would have beaten all their common opponents, so it wouldn't have mattered.
It might be score differential. It might be like the Pac-12 has a rule that the team that hasn't won the conference in the longest amount of time, they get the tiebreaker at some point.
What?
Yeah. So the Pac-12 used to have like if 2 teams were tied, and I don't know where the tiebreaker was, but I might have been the last tiebreaker, but it's like 8th or 9th down the list.
Yeah.
If the 2 teams are tied all the way through, common opponents, whatever, score differential, whatever, everything's the same. Whoever hasn't won the title in the longest time, they win. They win the tiebreaker, which I'm okay with. I mean, but it's a terrible thing to lose and go, oh, we won it last year, so you get to win it this year.
You're going to penalize someone else because they were good last year.
Right, yeah, which is kind of weird.
According to this, the tiebreaker is head-to-head first, common opponent second, common opponents by order of finish. So
it'd be the same.
Who did you play?
Same common.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, so I don't think like Ohio State doesn't play USC, and they did play Washington. So we I don't know. It just put USC.
Well, we're going to play USC, but we aren't going to play Michigan.
Right. So at that point, you start getting into like who did Oregon play versus who did Ohio State play. But if that still is equal, then you move on to combined conference opponent win percentage.
Oh my God.
So did you play better teams in the Big Ten?
Combined conference opponent win percentage.
Did?
It's going to be about well, Oregon's got Indiana on their schedule, so that's a help.
Oregon's got some good people. We have Indiana on our schedule. We have USC. We have Iowa.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yep. We have a bunch of the top ones. Ohio State didn't. Did Ohio State play Minnesota this year?
No, I don't know if they did or not. But Oregon has more probably than
they did. They got spanked by Minnesota. So yeah, I think that might work in Oregon's favor there. And then finally, the next one is higher ranking by team rating score.
Oh, I don't even know.
Using the score metric from Sports Source Analytics.
It sounds like made up shit. I don't know.
Yep. And then the last one is a draw. The draw will be administered by the Big Ten Commissioner.
Oh my God.
You get to number 6.
All right. Well, we'll find out, won't we? But it doesn't matter.
It'll probably shake itself out.
It'll probably shake itself out. Michigan and Ohio State. That is an Achilles heel for Ohio State.
And Michigan's ranked 18th.
I mean, they're not terrible. They've
had a better back half of the season than front half of the season.
But you need Oregon to also still beat USC and Minnesota, right? And Washington, these are all winning records. These are all teams going to a bowl game. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Anyway, let's talk about the national picture in general in college football. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Why do I click on buttons that go to things that I don't really want to go to? That's the question. So week 11, we're at week 11 last week in college football. On Friday night, USC beat Northwestern 38-17. They are 7-2, and Oregon's got them in 2 weeks at home, so that's going to be good. Ohio State with a 34-10 win over Purdue. Purdue hasn't won a Big Ten game this year, so this wasn't like
they're bad.
Yeah, they're bad. Indiana,
they're a bad team.
Indiana struggled. Indiana beat Penn State on a toe tap and touchdown in the 4th, right?
Amazing.
Omar Cooper Jr.'s. Yeah, he did. It was. I couldn't even believe he got his feet in. But a 27-24 win. But those are the kind of things you have to have an unbeaten season, right? Those are the things you need. Indiana got it. Penn State now 3-6. Oregon broke Penn State, by the way.
Yeah.
Penn State was 3-0, and then Oregon played them, gets the 2 overtime win at the whiteout at
But
Happy
the
Valley.
problem is Penn State was 3-0 against Nevada,
Agreed.
FIU, and Villanova.
But
Penn State hadn't played anybody worth a good goddamn until they played Oregon, and then they've played decent teams since.
Understood, but they were also the number 2 team in the country, and I think that loss hurt them psychologically. I think it was one of those things where Oregon, that loss was, that was our chance to be, because they were all in on that game. Well, it's whiteout, it's at home, it's Oregon, we win this game, it's one of those top 5 teams, we get that kind of a win, and you know what I mean?
Well, no, stop. They were not all in. The ESPN was all in. Fox is all in. The media was all in. There's literally a video of James Franklin saying, hey, it's just another game at home. We have to go out and perform. We have to do. Like, he's saying the usual stuff. So
but there's a difference. But there's a difference between you saying that every week and a whiteout game. You don't pick the whiteout game based on, we're gonna pick Purdue because we know we're gonna win that one. You picked Oregon for the whiteout game. You picked it on purpose. Why did you pick that game? Because you knew it was going to be big. You knew they were the champions last year. You knew they beat you in the Big Ten championship game last year. This was an important game for you. The loss hurt so bad for them because it just was another reason why James Franklin can't win the big game.
Do you know who picks the whiteout game?
I don't know.
Marketing and branding.
Well, yeah, PSU, but there's somebody at Penn State. Yeah, but that was smart. I mean, it's right.
No, yeah. So typically, it is the highest opponent on their schedule that they can see at that time, right? And they didn't play Ohio State, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, right. So it didn't, that was the one.
They did play it. Oh no, they don't play Ohio State.
They don't play Ohio State. They play Indiana.
Yeah, so this was their biggest game of the year, and their marketing team said, "Hey, let's make some money off of this," and blah blah blah. But beyond that, it's a smart thing to do because the whiteout game engages your home fans, which, if you believe in home field advantages, it's a thing. But to put that on the football program, that the whiteout was chosen, and that it just feels a little like you're blaming X for Y's decision. It's not the football team didn't choose this whiteout game. They didn't make people being more invested in it than they already were.
Okay, and I'll give you that. What I'm saying is, marketing and branding works for who?
It works for the athletic department.
Okay, who works for the football team? Because the football team's all they got. Volleyball.
Sure, yeah, they have a fantastic volleyball team.
Their
basketball team wasn't terrible last year, although I don't think they were that great.
But their football team controls the athletic department. Everybody's does, for the most part, in the P4, right? I mean, it is what it is.
You think so, yeah.
So this was a gigantic branding game because if you make it a whiteout and you have 2 top 5 teams or 2 top rated teams, and they knew they were going to be number 2 already at the beginning of the season, right? They knew they were going to be highly rated. They knew they were going to be up there. They knew Oregon was going to be up there. That was a perfect storm for marketing. I get it. But also
you call it the whiteout game. What else are you going to do? You're going to get ESPN to bring
exactly.
Game Day there.
That's exactly right, and they did, and it was perfect. Except you have to win those games, and they have historically won those games. They didn't win this one. That's why I say Oregon broke Penn State. When I say that, what I say is this game had everything on the line for Penn State. They needed to win this game. If they don't win this game, their season is over. You can say what you want. If they don't win
this game, they're in the same boat as Oregon. They could be at this point now.
They could be.
Loss.
They could be.
I think Oregon didn't break them. But I think Oregon exposed them as not being that good.
I feel like it became one of those things where my coach can't win the big game. We already knew that going in.
Well, that's yes,
right?
Okay. From a James Franklin point of view, sure, but
if
you couldn't win the big game, then they didn't break him. He never did it before.
Okay. What I'm saying is, at that point, he became a fireable coach. Because he can't win that game. He lost. The reason he got fired is because next week UCLA humiliated them, right?
Yeah, that broke them.
Agreed.
Losing a big game in prime time to a top 5 team, they're top 5.
I get it.
Number 6 actually, but that's tough. It sucks and it doesn't feel good. But then getting beat by the team that hadn't won a game yet this season, that just fired their coach and is a hot mess over there. Yeah, that broke him. That broke him for the rest of the year. And then Drew Aller getting hurt. I don't know if it was that game or the next game.
I think
But then Drew Aller got hurt, and then any hope was gone.
I think it was during UCLA that he got hurt.
I think it
But
was okay. So if
yeah,
that, yeah, oh, that's right.
yeah,
It all happened kind of at once.
yeah.
Yeah, any hope was gone for UCLA,
Agreed.
any at all,
Agreed. I just think that had they beaten Oregon, the confidence is high moving into UCLA.
possibly.
But they didn't have any confidence at that point because we're not going to win the big game. So if we're not going to win the big game, we can't clearly make it to the national championship at this point, and not with this coach, right? Who the administration is already saying that, not with this coach.
Yeah.
The rumors start swirling. People start listening. I get it, but I just think it was that loss was so big that led to the UCLA loss. Drew Aller didn't hurt, or well, he got hurt, but he the loss of Drew Aller caused that also. But then at that point, we're done. We got to make changes, wholesale changes. You fire your coach. Okay, great. And you can say it was UCLA. I still think had they beaten Oregon and then lost to UCLA, had they still lost to UCLA, they'd still be okay. They would still have that same head coach. They didn't because it was a back-to-back losses. The bad one to Oregon that was at home, and we needed to win that to show that we are one of the best teams in the country, and then the loss to a terrible team. You could have survived that had you beaten Oregon. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's likely.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
I just don't. I don't like to be like, oh yeah, they broke them, because I feel like Penn State's still pretty good, and I feel like Oregon did well, but I just feel like that UCLA. If you want to talk about the one that broke their spirit to compete, it was probably the UCLA one.
It was.
The one that dashed their hopes was probably Oregon, but the one that broke their spirit,
agreed,
was UCLA.
Oh, absolutely.
But you're for James Franklin. That's the game. The Oregon's the game that broke him, because now it's in his own head. He can't win them.
And Penn State didn't change the team. The team was the same. The team was the same team that everyone thought was the number 2 team in the country, right?
Yeah.
They had the same players. They just weren't performing. They didn't perform during Oregon's game. They played a great game. The Oregon Penn State game was a great game.
It was a fantastic game to watch. Stressful.
But it was a great game. It was just the next game after that, once they had been beaten, that they just let go and said, we're not good enough. Because they should have beat UCLA. Let's be fair. Their talent is so much better than UCLA's. That shouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah, they should have been close.
Yeah, anyway. All right, let's move on. Ready? Texas A&M beat Missouri 38-17 on the road to continue to be unbeaten and knock Missouri out of any chance for an SEC anything or the CFP anything. So Texas A&M still unbeaten, number 3 in the country. Alabama with a 20-19 win over LSU at home. That was an ugly football game. I did not enjoy any of that. And LSU's still a pretty good football team at 5-4. Alabama has kind of found themselves. I don't think Alabama's the 4th best team in the country. I don't. It's hard to say, because I feel like outside of the 3 unbeatens, you could label that on any of these guys, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Georgia beat Mississippi State 41-21 on the road, and everyone's going, "Oh, what a good win!" Yeah, Mississippi State's 1-5 in the SEC. That's not a great football team. It's a good win. It's an SEC win, but they don't give Oregon the same credit for the win at Iowa against a top 20 CFP team that they give Georgia for beating Mississippi State, who's a mediocre SEC team. And I don't understand that. That's the weird shit that goes on in the polls. They gave Ole Miss credit for beating the Citadel. The AP poll, not the AP, the AP poll swapped them, right? Ole Miss with a 49-0 win over the Citadel. It's the Citadel. You're playing them at home, and you won 49-0. Okay, Oregon beat Oklahoma State and scored 63 points. But you know what I mean? That was a much better. Oklahoma State would beat the Citadel. I'm almost positive of that right now, right?
I feel pretty good about that.
I feel pretty good about that. But you credited Ole Miss with a win, and you penalized Oregon for struggling at a top 20 CFP team. Anyway, Texas Tech beat BYU 29-7. That was BYU's first loss of the season. They fell pretty hard, I thought, down to 12. Considering Texas Tech is 9-1. Texas Tech's a pretty good football team, but I mean BYU is still quote unquote in the playoff. I don't know if they are still, because I think there's a non-power 4 team that has to get in, right?
Yeah.
So
that's exactly right.
They'll fall out. Notre Dame with a 49-10 over Navy. Notre Dame continues to get love, even though I don't want to love Notre Dame. Their running game is good. The rest of them, meh. I mean, it is
Meh.
meh.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. Virginia lost to Wake Forest 16-9. That kind of ruined Virginia's season. Not that they're out of it. They're still in the chance to play for the ACC championship. Cal wins at Louisville 29-26 in overtime. What is Cal doing? And now
Cal,
Louisville has
where
two,
did you come from?
right? Two ACC losses, right? Vanderbilt managed to come from behind and beat Auburn in overtime. Auburn has been like the hard luck loser. They're 1-6 in the SEC, but I know they've lost like 4 games by a total of 1 possession, right? By like 1 possession each, and they've been right there. I mean, that's a pretty good football team.
They're in it.
Yeah, but Vanderbilt managed to stay in it in the hunt. Miami with a 38-10 win over Syracuse. Miami's not anything. Let's be fair. And then Washington blew a chance to help Oregon by losing to Wisconsin 13-10. We really needed Washington to be ranked. It is.
You know
what it
what?
is.
I didn't root for him anyway, so
Did
the
you
hell with those guys.
did you see? And I got a picture of it right here. Did you see the Army uniforms that they released for the Army Navy game this year?
The 250 or whatever it is.
Yeah, the 1775 jerseys.
Yeah.
With the
right.
the constitutional numbers, as they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And there's a marble background, so the marble. Anyway, I like them. I love the fact that the Army last year's uniforms with the snowflakes and the 101st Airborne, right?
The Bastogne ones.
The Bastogne ones, those were good. I like the way they
nice.
do stuff. I mean, I like this idea of this game is a celebration of whatever, and I like it. Anyway, just that way. It's out there. So that brings us to what is the top 25, the current college football playoff rankings, and not a huge fan of the rankings. The way that Oregon did move up one, so they now have a home game if they were to start today against Notre Dame.
Which is cool.
That would be a great matchup. I you know what I mean? Oregon. I don't know if Oregon's ever played Notre Dame.
When they were Bleacher Report just like a live broadcast whenever they drop the rankings and they go through them one by one, and the one lady goes, okay, so Oregon would play like I want your 1-word reactions, blah blah blah. And she goes, so Oregon, Notre Dame. He goes, fun.
All right. So that's gonna be a good game.
That would be a great game.
You'd get Ole Miss and Texas.
That'd be another good game.
You'd get
freaking SEC teams. Like,
yeah, you'd get Texas Tech and Oklahoma, and then you'd have Georgia versus. Hold on, I'm gonna find them. Georgia would end up playing South Florida.
South Florida.
Right at this point, because South Florida is the highest ranked other team.
Okay.
Yeah. So. And that's a shame because South Florida, they got ranked as 24th and they're way down there. But anyway, BYU would get jobbed out of it basically because we got to have one of these other teams. Do we need that? Do we need one of those teams? I know that they say that because we want to make it fair and even. But what if one of these teams, the best we can find is 8-4? Do we have to put one in? Do we have to?
1000% do not have to.
Right.
And yet we might.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of a thing. And then, so the rankings as they stand right now, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama is top 4. And if this were to start today, Notre Dame plays at Oregon in Autzen Stadium, and then the winner plays Ohio State. Can we just not play Ohio State? I'm not saying that we can't beat them. Can we just play someone else? I mean,
yeah, it gets old when it's the same who's who.
Yeah,
like
because it's gonna. If this stands the way it is, Oregon's gonna play Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, where they play them every year or every time that Ohio State and Oregon play. It's in the Rose Bowl. Yeah. I'd much rather play Texas A&M in the Sugar Bowl, right?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah,
I'd agree. That'd be more fun.
That'd be more fun because I don't know that we've ever played Texas A&M.
But
I can't. Or Alabama. Oregon and Alabama have never played. I don't think. So I can't imagine they have. Yeah. So that'd be a great game.
I've been hearing those "We Want Bama" chants for years, but
yeah, that'd be great.
That's kind of died down. It's kind of gone away. People don't do that anymore.
They don't do that anymore. Let's talk about the NFL because we can. And how about them Bears?
How about Bears?
The the Bears with a 24-20 win over the Giants. I know the Giants are 2-8, 0-6 on the road, but the Bears are 6-3, right?
Yeah.
And Caleb Williams managed to use his feet, found a way to win. Jackson Dart with a concussion. It is what it is. I don't. The Giants are. The Giants are who we thought they were at this point. I don't think.
We put them on the hook.
And we did because they're not very good. And then we had the let's see what else. Let's just go through. So we had the Colts Falcons. Colts win in overtime, 31-25. That was a huge win. But Jonathan Taylor with 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is the league's leading rusher in terms of attempts, yards, touchdowns, whatever you name it. Yards per carry doesn't matter. He's going to be the top rusher in the league this year. But the Falcons are 3-6. This is a game the Colts probably should have won a little easier, but in the NFL, a win's a win, right? And this is in Berlin, so you're on the road technically. It is what it is. Dolphins beat the Bills. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that was not great.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Dolphins ran the ball well. Devin Achane with 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, right?
He went crazy.
But Tua Tagovailoa leads the NFL in interceptions thrown, by the way. I just want to say that. And yet they still managed to come up with a win. And, of course, this game was 16-0 through 3, and then everybody had to score in the fourth quarter. What is that about the fourth quarter this year? Why is that a thing, right? There's 44 points in the Giants-Bears game, 17 of them in the fourth quarter. Why does it always happen in the fourth quarter? What are we waiting for? Why can't we score in the first 3 quarters of any of these games is all I'm saying.
That just sounds like a lot of work.
It sounds like a Bronco BS. Anyway, Ravens the Ravens beat the Vikings, moving them both to 4-5. I listened to this game on the radio, and I listened to the Vikings play-by-play people, the Vikings radio network, right? And they were less than what's the term I'm looking for? Complimentary of the refereeing or any of the things that happened. They were so angry about it. They got mad. So there was a crackback block by Adam Thielen, right? It was called a.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
one.
Yeah. He got flagged. He got hot about it, and they on the radio were so upset about that call, like it was the worst call in the history. And then after it started to die down, they were like, one of the guys like, well, it wasn't as egregious as last week when so and so did such and such, and they didn't call that. Right? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then the second was, well, he really didn't need to lower his shoulder. Yeah, you're right. Had he not lowered his shoulder, had he just stood there in the way, there's no penalty. But he lowered his shoulder and hit a dude. It's a penalty. There is no doubt it's a penalty. But they were arguing about it right off the bat. They were very grumpy, and they were losing. So, but it's Lamar Jackson back, right? Lamar Jackson makes a gigantic difference for the Ravens.
He's an absolute game changer for them. The problem is it too late? Is it too late for them to get back on track?
I don't think it's too late for them to sneak into the playoffs.
Well, yeah, but you're going to sneak in on the road. You're going to have a much more difficult game.
Well, you're 4. So okay, they're 4-5 right now. They've got 8 games left, right?
Yeah.
So who's left on the schedule for the Ravens? I'm trying to pull it up because my computer sucks. But I'm trying to pull it up. They're second in the AFC North. Who's left for the Ravens?
Well, so they have the Browns up next.
So the Browns should be a win, right? And then the Jets.
Yeah.
That should be a win, right? Next thing you know, 6-5.
Then the Bengals.
The Bengals is an interesting game.
You don't know.
You don't know. Then the Steelers,
this is a home
right?
one, though.
But those are all division games. Bengals, Steelers, Bengals. 3 division games in a row.
And then they play the Patriots, who are one of the best teams in football this year.
Packers, Steelers. It's going to be rough. The end's going to be rough. But with Lamar Jackson, let's assume you beat the Browns and the Jets. All right?
Yeah.
You split with the Bengals. You split with the Steelers. And you win one of the 2 versus the Patriots and Packers, right? That's 3-3 over the last 6.
Yes.
And those 2. So 5-3 makes you 9-8. That puts you into that running for the playoffs. I mean, you're right there.
Speaking, you have a chance to stay in second or even move into first.
Agreed. So that's what I'm saying.
Possibly.
There's a chance. I'm not saying it's great, but they would have helped themselves by winning any one of the. They were 1-5. Had they won 2 of those games, any other game.
But they could easily drop both to the Bengals if old man Flacco wants to throw for 600 yards this week. And They could easily drop both to the Steelers if old man Rodgers wants
old,
to throw for 300 this week. So
old man Roger. There is a lot of old man going on there. You're not wrong.
yeah.
Um, so,
Also, I gotta say, I'm watching this Adam Thielen crackback block. I
yeah.
get why he's upset.
Eh,
That guy, his whole body is running at Adam Thielen. The
agreed.
only part of him that isn't lined up is the fact that he's not looking where he's running.
Well,
That is it. I can't position myself in front of you anymore. So, like, the answer there is if somebody's coming to hit you, just turn your head to the left or to the right. And now it's a crackback because you're not paying attention.
Hold on. It wasn't that. The rule states that you have to lead with your hands. You can't lead with your shoulder when you make contact with a guy who's coming. When you're going back, when you're going back into the field of play, you're coming from the outside in, you have to lead with your hands. You can't lead with your shoulder. And he lowered his shoulder.
But isn't the ball still behind the line of scrimmage?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If the wide receiver comes back towards the middle from the outside, he has to lead with his hands. He can't hit a guy with his shoulder. That's what the rule says. That's why it's a penalty. I understand why you're upset. You didn't think you did anything, but also you could have just gotten his way. You didn't have to lower your shoulder. You could have just ran with your arms up and got in the way. They probably wouldn't have flagged that. But when you lowered your shoulder, that became a penalty. Yeah, I get it. I understand. And you're right.
They won't call hip drop tackles that are happening all over the league, but they'll call that.
Right. Yeah, there's certain things that we're on the lookout for.
Because Dodo Bird for freaking the Ravens can't turn his fucking head and look straight ahead. Like, that's now. But we got to protect him. But no, if somebody rolls up on J.K. Dobbins' ankles or rolls up on Justin Herbert, that's fine. We'll let those roll.
The Jets beat the Browns 27-20 thanks to a kickoff and a punt return for a touchdown. So the Browns special teams need a spanking. Because what? Who does that now in the short kickoff days, right? Who has a return for a punt return and a kickoff return for a touchdown in the same game? Nobody.
Pretty cool.
Nobody does. But the Browns 2-7, Jets 2-7. Those seasons are over. Will we see Shedeur Sanders at any point in time?
There is a rumor on the Twittersphere that he might be in line to get a start here soon. But I just don't see the Browns.
I know. It doesn't really matter, right?
Start him because who gives a shit? It's the Browns. They're terrible. Like, they're going to make bad play calls. Then they're going to be behind those bad calls. They're going to get support from a bad GM, and then behind that, they're going to get support from a bad owner who thinks that all these bad decisions are good ones. So whatever, man. Like, just do whatever you want to do. But it doesn't make any sense. Like, Dylan Gabriel had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in this game, and they lost. And it wasn't that much. You can put anything you want on the quarterback at any point in time, but wasn't much because of him.
No, it was.
Everyone's like, oh, he's just throwing these little short routes. Like, well, those are the plays they're calling.
That's what they're calling for him. He's not calling the plays.
What do you want him to do?
Yeah, he's not calling the plays.
This isn't Tom Brady out there audibling into whatever he wants. Yeah, there's a rookie.
There's like 10 quarterbacks in the history of quarterbacking that call their own plays. There are not that many, and he's not one of them yet. Yeah. So FYI.
There was a video the Browns posted. Maybe that wasn't the Browns. It was the Browns posted the video. Somebody reposted it and was like, Shadeur's looking sharp out here. And it was basically a post route at a practice with no coverage. It's just him and the guy. And the receiver slows down and kind of catches it in the pocket and runs out. And the first comment in there is like, I'm 86. I have back problems, knee problems. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries, and I've had both elbows replaced. I could make that throw.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. You're probably right.
Yep.
We should stop hyping up mediocre passes in practice.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to get a start here soon. Like, what
probably
difference
should.
does it make?
Right, he probably should. Why not?
All they're doing is, whether you believe in Shedeur Sanders or not, I do believe they're ruining his potential future
by not
whether
playing
you believe
him.
in Dylan Gabriel or not. But by doing this whole dance with him and Gabriel and not giving anybody real support, and whatever, and then trading Joe Flacco in division.
Well, what I think they should be doing is they should be saying, okay, one of these guys is our guy, right? Moving forward, whether and right now it appears to be Dylan Gabriel because you're playing him, right? So if you want to put in Shedeur and get him a couple of starts, get him some reps, and trade him, or make him more valuable, that's great. You should do that, and for his sake, you should probably do that, right?
Yeah.
If you're not planning on making him the number 1, because he's not going to be happy being a number 2. You know he's not. Or 3, which he is now, technically. Anyway, That's just my feeling. The Patriots beat the Buccaneers 28-23. The Buccaneers lost 2 in a row.
Yeah,
I thought they were one of the best teams in football. They still may be,
they're struggling right now.
but the Patriots are 8-2. And Travion Henderson ran 14 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Right? Woo.
Yeah.
And Baker Mayfield didn't have a bad day. He threw for 3 scores. Right? They got
yeah, your defense gave up 28 points.
Yeah, one
Like,
each quarter. Like
you're not going to win games giving up 20 plus points a game.
Not many.
Not many.
Not many. Saints with a 17-7 win. They're 2-8. Win at the Panthers, who just came off of a big win, right? At Green Bay, the Panthers had just won a big game. They're 5-5.
Tyler Shuck gets his first career.
Tyler Shuck, one of 5 Oregon, one of 5 quarterbacks who played at Oregon to start on Sunday, right? That's like a record, I guess, apparently. Texans with a 36-29 win over the Jaguars. That's a big win in that division.
That's pretty big because the Jaguars are kind of floundering and the Texans are trying to get back on footing.
And it was backup. It's Davis Mills, right? He throws for 292 and 2 touchdowns.
Where did Davis Mills play college ball?
Stanford, I think.
Stanford.
He's a Stanford guy.
Those smart boys.
Seahawks are looking really good.
They look really good.
It was the Cardinals. Let's be fair, but they also have they scored a lot of points last week. But 44 points, 38 in the first half. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're scoring 38 and a half against anybody in the NFL, you're doing it right.
Being fair to the Seahawks, right? So they played the Cardinals. They're not the best team. They haven't been the best team for the last 5 years. They struggle. Whatever. Week before, they played the Commanders without Jaden Daniels and a couple other injuries. Week before that, they played the Texans without C.J. Stroud.
Yep.
Or no, that one was with C.J. Stroud, but this was while the Texans were still in their whatever. But I'll give them that one. That's a good win. Before that, they played the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are frauds. I don't think they're real buyers. So, take that with a grain of salt. Before that, they played the Buccaneers. That's the best team they've played in the last, 6-7 games, and they lost that game.
Yep.
They've won a lot of these games where it's like, you beat the Steelers. The Steelers are good. They're a division, top of the division. You beat the Saints. You beat the Cardinals twice. Like you lost. Like they have a lot of those kinds of wins. But coming up, they have the Rams twice, the Colts, and the 49ers.
That's going to decide it all right there.
We will learn who the Seahawks are. And they have the Vikings in there.
And the whole division's going to be decided, right? Because the Niners, Rams, Seahawks play each other.
If the Rams split with the Seahawks with the way the Rams are playing,
they're pretty good.
The Rams division.
I think the Rams are damn good. Mac Jones, speaking of that, the Niners lost, right? 42-26, right? The Rams and Matt Stafford throws for 4 TDs. I get all that. Mac Jones with 33 of 39 for 319 and 3 touchdowns in a losing effort. That is amazing, right? George Kittle, 9 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. The Rams, the Niners, I think the injuries at some point in time at certain positions caused them so much grief that they can't overcome it. And this is what's happening, right? They become this, okay, we can survive it. We're still doing good. We're still in first place. And then there comes a game where they go, oh my God, we just don't have it. We don't match up well.
We have to get our guys back.
Exactly. And there's still time. Go ahead.
Worst training medical staff in the history of the
Would
NFL.
you not fire your trainers?
Everyone. What hospital is sponsoring your team? Stop that.
My God.
What trainers are working for your team? Fire them. Just stop. Whatever is going on in any sort of the medical side of things, it's been bad for 5 years.
49ers football brought to you by Good Samaritan Medical Center.
And I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to their page, 49ers staff, and I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to have to read about some doctor who's been the team doctor for 30 years or something like that. Going on.
He's getting paid a lot of money too to make sure guys are hurt.
Head athletic trainer's name is Dustin Little. Let's
Dustin.
talk about Dustin.
Well, Dustin's not an old man's name, so.
Dustin is not an old man's name, but he's in his 6th season. Sounds about like when the problem started.
I mean, maybe, and that could be the problem. Is maybe the older guy was great, and then he left and said, "Nah, I can't do it anymore."
The director of reconditioning, Mike Sola, it's his first year.
Reconditioning. Is that a real title?
Director, and then comma reconditioning. So the director of reconditioning.
All right.
Yeah. The assistant athletic trainer. Guess what his name is? Manny Rivera. That's a good name. 11 years.
11 years. All right.
I hate it for Manny and Catherine and Michelle and Cameron and Manny and Mike and Dustin, but we got to get these guys out of here because it is not working.
Oh my
Either
God.
that or there's one other factor, which is the strength and conditioning coach,
That could be
Justin
bad too.
Perry,
Yeah, he should have done a better
could
job at
be
the beginning.
running this team into the ground.
He should have done it at the beginning, right? He's the front end. They're the
That
back
is his
end.
eighth season.
Yeah.
This is eighth season. Well, but like if he's running them too hard,
It could be.
he's causing injuries.
But yeah,
So
you're right. Yeah.
I'd say there's about 7 people here that what is it called? I'd transition, be part of a permanent outplacement or something like that.
The Lions beat the Commanders 44-22. They moved to 6-3. Jahmyr Gibbs 15 carries, 142 and 2 touchdowns. But also Jared Goff he looks good. It is the Commanders. The Commanders are not great. Let's be fair, but
yeah, Commanders are tough.
But this is the way the Lions do. This was a classic Lions. 14 in the first, 11, 10, 9. Every quarter they're scoring points, and they just keep throwing them at you, and you got to try and keep up, and you just can't. This is the way we expect the Lions to be. But they are only 6-3. They're still playoff bound at this point. But let's talk about a couple other games. Let's talk first about Broncos Raiders Thursday night.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Could that have been any uglier?
Could you be any worse?
It was not a great game from a fan perspective, right? 7-0 Raiders at the end of one, 7-7 Raiders at the half, right? And then there's one field goal in the third. Bo Nix is 16 of 28, 150 yards on a touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with 18 carries, 77 yards. The defense is dominated, as you would think they would, because for some reason
they're good.
But the Broncos seem to still have this issue of play calling. It's just so frustrating to watch, because there are things they can do that they are doing well that they just don't do sometimes. And you go, why would you not do that? Why would you not keep doing what you were doing well? Hey, we're going to run for 6 yards. Hey, we're going to run for 12 yards. Let's throw it. Why? Yeah. Why? Why would you do that? Right? I kept watching them run, Dobbins reel off 10 yards or whatever, right? He's got 12 on this, or Harvey, right? He got 10 yards on the carry. Oh, let's throw the ball. No, just keep running the football. You're doing it. Just keep doing it. And then at the end, when they're trying to preserve the lead, that's when they decide, oh, let's keep running the football. And they know it's coming. Ball, yeah, I'm like, oh, my God. They're 8-2.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we'll take.
And 5-0 at home. They're unbeaten at home.
Yeah. By the way, between the Broncos, the Avs, and the Nuggets, there's some crazy stat. We're like 20-something 4-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like total record. But in Denver, none of our teams have lost a game.
It's funny too, because they also posted somewhere that the Rockies can't lose a game for 6 months.
We're doing great here in Denver. So I was at this game, and I watched a bunch of stuff afterward, and there's this guy who does like these QB breakdowns that I watch all the time, and he's fantastic on YouTube.
Yeah.
And this was maybe the first game where I didn't entirely want to blame the coaching staff. I watched Bo Nix short arm 5 or 6 passes.
Yeah.
That were just like, what the hell was that? Like he'd throw it out to the flat, but put it on his toes.
Oh.
Like things like just little things like that. And you're like, what is going on with your accuracy? I watched him make a couple contested throws that I was like, I don't understand that one. He had 2 picks, I think, and one of them was essentially a punt. It was a deep ball throw at the end of the first half that who gives a crap. But I kind of walked away from this game going, damn, Bo had a bad game. I did not like this. Now, all that being said, the worst person on our team was our punter, Crenshaw.
Oh my God, Crawshaw. Yeah.
We booed the shit out of him.
And you probably should have.
He shanked like 4 in a row.
Okay. Let's hold on. I'm gonna tell you what I know about Crawshaw. He leads the league in punts and punting yardage, which means he's done more. So he's probably tired. This is probably why the shanks happen. He's exhausted.
For this shit.
Halfway through the season, he said, "What the hell? I wanted a team like Oregon who doesn't punt, and I don't have to punt the ball." Anyway, I don't know.
All the time. Yeah, he finally put together like I think a good punt somewhere in
Oh,
the third,
yeah.
and the
The
crowd went
cheers were
crazy.
amazing. I told your
The
mom that.
sarcastic
I s-
cheers.
yeah, he's gonna put one out there 45 yards or so, and they're gonna go woo. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, there was a lot of little things here and there that just weren't working. Dobbins got hurt in this
Hey,
game.
hey,
So that's not good.
here's the thing. Their defense is so good. They're
Yeah.
winning football games. I know it's the Raiders, and the Raiders aren't great, but the Raiders had every chance to win this football game. They
Every
were,
chance.
yeah, they had all the opportunities.
They
They
had the
just,
lead at one
yeah,
point.
yeah, they just can't, you know. Anyway, I think that the Broncos defense is so good. This team is going to be, this team is going to have 13 wins. This is by the time
Ugh.
we're done. It's 12 or
Ugh.
13. That's what we're headed for,
I mean, we've got two
right?
Chiefs games left, so
I
that's
get
not
it,
great. We
but you
got
just
one
got to split
Chargers
them.
games left. I know.
Yeah,
We got one Chargers game
at
left.
home.
At home.
Yeah.
We have the Jags, the Packers, another Raiders game, and the Manders. So
I hear you.
if the Manders don't have Jaden Daniels, I feel good about that. The Raiders, I
And
feel
they may
good
not.
about that.
You saw-
The Jaguars late in the season, I feel good about that. The Packers, that's kind of a quirky one, but whatever. And then you just want to split with the Chiefs, and technically you want to split with the Chargers, so you want to win that one out. So you're looking at about 13.
You saw the injury to Jaden Daniels' arm, right? That bent backwards crap.
The dislocation.
Yeah, and they were.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, you're absolutely right. I totally forgot about that dislocation because
Yeah.
he was hurt.
Yeah.
And I thought this was just an extension of his original injury.
No.
And then I forgot he came back and then went out when they were down 30.
Yeah. Well,
So-
and then the coach said, "Yeah, well, it's my fault for leaving him in there." And I'm like, "Well,
No.
also he got thrown to the ground. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was
he's glass.
This was rough. I mean, it was a rough game. But yeah, they're not the same without Jaden Daniels. Let's be fair.
No.
But
They're missing something big.
That was tough.
So I'd say 13 wins for the Broncos. That's a playoff entry. And if you
Here's-
split with the Chiefs and you beat the Chargers,
Yeah.
I think that keeps you at number 1 in the division.
Speaking of the Chargers, they beat the Steelers 25-10, right, at home at SoFi to go to 7-3, stay right there with the Broncos. They have the tiebreaker over the Broncos at the moment, thanks to the win at home earlier in the year. But
Right.
also, so I froze this picture, which is Justin Herbert getting horse collared, but it doesn't count. I read the rule, and it has to be from the side or from the back. It doesn't say the front. You can literally stick your hand all the way down inside this guy's shirt and shoulder pads and yank him to the ground from the front. It's okay. And I was like, that can't be true. Yeah, it's true. So this is not a penalty. But it is a horse collar by definition. Had he grabbed the side over the top of the shoulder pads or the back, it would have been a horse collar. But this doesn't count. So just FYI, defensive players, grab whatever you got in the front. But
The
go ahead.
problem is that
Yep.
it's the back or the side.
It says back or side.
But
I
it's
let
also the name of the rule is horse collar, and
Yep.
the point there being that you stop their momentum going forward, like
Yep.
you're reining a horse. So
and you got to pull
how
him
can you
down.
possibly
Yep.
rein
I
a
don't-
horse from the front?
I don't know. Long story
Yeah.
short is Justin Herbert found a way. 20 of 33. It wasn't a great performance. His feet this year have been amazing. He's leading the NFL in terms of rushing yards by quarterback. He also leads
He
the
looks
league.
good.
He also leads the league in yards from scrimmage. FYI. So there's that. Lad McConkey is his target. Let's be fair. Lad McConkey. I know there's Keenan Allen out there who just set a record for receptions by a Charger. I
Yeah.
got it. Lad McConkey, 4 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown. When he needs a play, he is looking for McConkey. Maybe on third down.
Always open.
Yeah, maybe he runs good routes, right? He's not the biggest,
crisp
strongest.
routes.
They're crisp, and he gets open. He finds a way to settle into a zone, right, and get open. Keenan Allen's a great receiver. Don't get me wrong. He's just, for some reason, McConkey and Herbert have this thing. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers looked frustrated.
Yeah, he did.
The whole game. Their defense frustrated the Steelers. Steelers scored late and to make it 25-10, but it was not a great game if you're a Steelers fan. The Steelers now 5-4, right? And that whole division is tight now.
Yeah, it gets real tight because they were on a trend to win it, kind of walking away with everyone
I
else
thought they were.
floundering.
Yeah, so now it's tight. Anyway, this being said, I also wanted to show everyone, if I can, and don't quote me. Things are doing what they do. This play, which is going to be thanks to Sunday Night Football. This is Chris Collinsworth. But hold on a second. Let me find it. You ready?
I'm holding.
Okay, you should be. This was the other play that was a penalty that was not called. So this is Herbig.
Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to figure out how to block these edges, and it's pure speed around the outside. Fisk couldn't get it done. Pipkins couldn't get it done, and he just keeps running, and then his own guy one more time, and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So that was the very definition of the penalty that they instated last year, which is hip drops. You can't grab a guy from behind, pick up your legs, and drop onto his back up his legs when you tackle him.
The tiniest bit of defense I'll give it. He never left his feet. He just shuffled down kind of behind him and more went knees.
Let's watch.
But he didn't fully come off the ground.
Let's watch it again.
You have to figure out how to block these edges, and it's pure speed around the outside. Fisk couldn't get it done. Pipkins couldn't get it done, and he just keeps running, and then his own guy
He doesn't fully, even in this last moment right here,
yeah.
His legs aren't swung out to the side.
But
he didn't throw his body weight into the back of Justin. He was more trying to yank him down and anchor himself towards Justin's base. But in my opinion, I would throw the flag on this. But this is close enough.
The rule doesn't state, the rule state is that you use your body weight to bring him down and fall on the back of his legs. That's exactly what he did.
Right.
So that's penalty.
Yeah. It doesn't specifically mention something about swiveling their hips to unweight themselves.
Well, it says they unweight themselves, which if you pick your feet up off the ground.
This guy's feet are still on the ground.
No. Back up. Well, let's look. Hold on. Let's go back.
He does this weird little shuffle thing down. He never fully swings his legs around.
Well, he doesn't swing them, but right here, once he grabs a hold, right, he's got his feet on the ground, and then they come off the ground. Right there, he's picked them up.
Well, because he's stepping.
Okay, but he's got his feet off. I don't know.
I think that's not the same as a traditional hip drop tackle.
I think that if you pick your feet up and you fall on a guy's legs, period, that becomes a penalty. That's what the rule is made for. For a guy from behind falling on your legs, you don't blow a knee out.
Google hip drop tackle, and all of the pictures show guys with their feet and legs firmly out to the left or right.
Agreed.
Vendor who's tackling them, holding you by the hip, throws their entire body weight into the back of your legs with no ability to control it anymore. They leave it.
So maybe this guy found a gray area, right?
Well, that's why I said when I watched it, I go, I kind of get why in real time, if you're an official, you might see that and go, he's just trying to pull him down, and he's from the hips and he's kind of squatting because it doesn't exactly look like he swings his legs out intentionally into the back. But I also said a few minutes ago, it's too close for me. I would have called it.
I would have called it.
I would have called it.
If you watched Monday night's game, Eagles find a way to beat the Packers 10-7. Yeah. That was, again, 14 of the 17 points in the fourth quarter because no one can do it. The Rams-Niners scored 26 of their points in the fourth quarter. Why is everything happening in the fourth quarter? Why is it okay in the fourth quarter we can score, but we can't do that in the first three quarters? What is going on that you're doing differently? Whatever you're doing, do that at the beginning, right? Anyway, but the Eagles-Packers, this is going to bring us to more referee nonsense. A 10-7 win. Let's talk about that tush push for a minute because, oh my God, I don't know that I can.
That they run
hold on.
See
that was really loud too, huh?
That was quite loud.
It was quite loud. I wasn't trying to get it that loud, but let's take a gander at a tush push, right? Here's one of the plays from that game, right on Monday night. They're about to go for it on third and it might have been fourth down. I can't remember if it was third or fourth, but about 1.5 yards they need to get a first down. Here's the play.
That they run off of this, and you see the early movement. I thought they were offsides at the snap.
Insanity.
This is
both guards left shoulders out past the ball, and there's no call. This happens. This has happened every game that I've watched. Not every game, but every game that I've watched the Eagles play this year, there has been a play like this, and it has never been called. Every time I watch it, they get away with this, and I don't understand. The Packers got called for one on a on a third down and short, and they weren't offside. They didn't run. They didn't false start, but they got called for it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I don't know what's going on, but I can't. If we're gonna let the Eagles win, then let the Eagles win.
All of those people who didn't vote to ban it this past off season, because there was a handful of people that didn't, and they needed a certain number of votes. They're gonna vote for it.
Fix it. Okay.
This is the last year of the tush push, because whether you liked the competitive advantage before, it never really seemed like they were committing penalties. Maybe lining up in the neutral, or like lined up like a legal formation type penalties. Maybe.
Yeah.
They never seemed like this. This year, it's false starts like crazy. Like crazy. And
it's not even
if the
close.
refs aren't going to call it, then we got to fight it.
Yeah, it's not even close is the problem. I mean,
if you're another team, your angle right now is to find that 53rd guy on the roster and have him break the leg of the center, and then find the 52nd guy and have him break up the back legs, the leg of the backup center, and just see if you can hope that throws them off enough, because the NFL is not going to do anything about it.
No.
You don't have any choice. Honestly, I'd probably just try and hop. I'd say to hell with it, especially if it's like a 4th and 1 from like their own 40, because they do that sometimes. They just kind of try and get that extra yards to keep the drive going.
Yeah.
I'd completely hop the line, and I'd put my helmet square into the side of Jalen Hurts' head.
Yeah.
Like I would try and remove him from play, because the NFL is not going to do anything about this.
Clearly.
The officials are either incompetent, inept, or compliant. One of the three.
And that's the worst
part. Then you get into conspiracy.
Compliant.
You don't know which one.
Right.
I'd rather you be stupid. Stupid's at least vaguely forgivable.
Yeah.
But if you're compliant and this is league mandate crap, this is rigging football.
Agreed. And that brings us to a whole rigging pitches kind of thing in Major League Baseball, which we haven't even talked about today. But
that's
right?
That is a April 1st discussion.
Oh my gosh. There's so many, and we've had betting, we've had gambling, right? And but it wasn't gambling on basketball. It was just gambling and basketball. And now we've had pitch rigging in baseball. And this clearly looks like someone's not calling something on purpose. If it happens in a game on a play, okay.
You kind of forgive it, right?
And you're going to have different refereeing crews at each game, and I understand that maybe there's 2. Okay. But if this happens every game, I mean, it's every televised game that I've watched Philadelphia do, they've been offside like that. They've been false starting, and they don't call it. That has to be compliance. That has to be someone saying, oh, well, don't call it against them. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But see, that's
it cheapens the game.
If it's that hard for an official to officiate, it is now no longer just a scheme imbalance. It is a legitimate systemic imbalance.
Agreed.
And you have to take it out. It has to go. You can't keep allowing this crap to happen and allowing them to score garbage touchdowns or take garbage first downs and control time of possession and continue drives when you're not even going to make the play calls, or when you're not even going to make the proper penalty calls. So it's just a waste, and it makes it all feel like the Broncos have a great defense. What if we get to the Super Bowl? I know, right? What if we get to the Super Bowl and
you can only hope,
and we just get tush pushed 4 times for the game winner, and what are we gonna do?
Why wouldn't you just keep running it if you're the
you
know what I mean? If you can get 4 or 5 yards out of like they did on that particular play.
Yeah.
Right. This is the AFC standings right now. There's the Patriots, the Colts, and the Broncos all at 8-2.
Patriots.
Let me just say this: the Patriots, of these teams, the Patriots are 5-0 on the road. That's the dangerous part. I mean, they've won 5 road games. Nobody else is kind of like that. I mean, the Chargers are 3-1 on the road, but nobody's really, 5-0 on the road. That's crazy, right?
Let's see. Let's take a
go see who they played,
who their road wins were.
You can do that.
Dolphins in week 1.
Okay,
that's fair. I'll give that to them. Dolphins in week. That's a good road game. Although it's still hot in Boston, so the
the difference, temperature
swap isn't that bad.
Right. Okay.
Bills on the road. That's huge.
That's a big win.
Huge freaking win.
Yeah.
Congrats to you guys. Saints, Titans.
Yeah, Saints are bad. Titans are bad.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
we don't want to give them too much for that.
And
And
one
then
more.
Bucks, that's a good.
Yeah. So they've
So
come
they
up.
got 3 decent wins on the road.
Yeah. I mean, they're
They're not all
winning.
bad teams.
That's what I mean when you're comparing teams. These 3 are 8-2. I get it, but the Broncos are 5-0 at home. The Colts are 6-0 at home. But the Patriots are winning games on the road, and you need to be able to do that.
I mean, the recipe for a year is win your home games, split your road games. If
Yeah.
you can do that, you'll be in the playoffs every year.
Right. So anyway, they're on top of the division, right? By a game and a half and a tiebreaker now, right, over the Bills.
Yeah.
Woo. So that's a big deal.
Jeez.
Broncos are ahead of the Chargers by a game, but they do not own the tiebreaker
Yeah.
to the Chargers, but they do play again. Colts have a 2.5 game lead over the Jaguars, which, thanks to the Jaguars' loss this week, was a huge loss to the Texans, by the way. That gave the Colts a little bit extra breathing room. The Jaguars are 5-4, but they've been outscored this year by 15 points. What? So
yeah, it doesn't
yeah,
track.
it doesn't
that means
really
that they
compute.
had one game where they scored 70 on someone.
It's true. So if you're looking at the NFC, the Eagles now moved to 7-2. Push their way to 7-2. That division's theirs. I mean, they have to literally collapse for anything else to happen. Because let's be fair, as much as we're going to see the Cowboys every week on TV, and I don't know why. What did Jerry Jones pay to do that? Is that what's happening? But we see the Cowboys on every week. I see the Cowboys every week, and I shouldn't. They're 3-5-1. This is not a team I should be watching.
Are you getting them this weekend? Let's find out.
I can't.
Oh, they've released the map. I see it. Let's see here. Your CBS early game is Tampa Bay Buffalo.
I like that. That's a good game.
Your CBS late game is Kansas City Denver.
That's a good game. So yeah, I like that.
Your Fox single game is Seattle LA.
Because it's local. Okay.
So you do
not bad. I don't see the
hold on.
Monday, Thursday.
I was just about to say, do they play on Monday? There you go. Monday night they play at Las Vegas.
You see, and I got to see the Cowboys again Monday night. I get to see 2. But I get to see 2 of the worst teams in football play on Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's great.
That's kind of a bummer. But at least all the games you're getting this weekend are pretty freaking good.
So I can go ahead and say with some certainty that the Eagles win the NFC East after 9 games. The Lions, the Bears, and the Packers are in a 3-way fight. And don't forget the Vikings. Had they not lost this week, had they not lost that game this week, they'd be 5-4. They'd be right there too. This would be a 1-game separation between the first and last teams in the division. NFC North is going to be wild coming down to the finish. I don't think the Panthers are for real. I think they're winning games. They're a -45 in terms of differential. I don't think that's a great team. I still think the Buccaneers are the best team in the NFC South, and they'll probably win that walking away. But then you have the NFC West. Those top 3 teams, I'm not sold who the better team is. I know the Niners are hurt still. I don't know that they're great, but the Seahawks have a +103. It's the best in the AFC, right? And they're 4-0 on the road. Oof.
Here's a question for you. The Broncos are currently listed as leading the AFC. And when I Google the phrase, do the Broncos lead the AFC West? It says that they do.
Okay.
So how does that does the divisional record, because the Broncos have a better win percentage. Well, so that's about the only thing we have.
It's overall record to lead the division right now.
Oh, I thought it was just divisional record.
Nope. Overall,
is what decides the division.
Overall record first, divisional record second, conference record third.
Gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
this makes sense. I'm sitting here. I'm like, how are we not behind?
Yeah, they would
Chargers?
they would be second behind the Chargers if the Chargers had won another game.
Yeah, if it was still 7-2 or 8-2 or whatever.
But that's going to be a tough. That's going to be a tough. All 3 of those teams are probably getting in. The Chiefs have a rough road still, but probably getting in is my guess.
That being said, the NFC West.
Yeah, NFC West might get 3 teams as well, and so might the NFC North if they could. But there's only 3 wild card spots, so the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, the Vikings, the Seahawks, the Rams, the Niners, the Panthers at this point, the Buccaneers, they're all fighting for like 5-6 playoff spots.
Yeah,
it's going to be rough, but it's going to be exciting. I like that. I mean, I think it's great. The parity is great. But anyway, let me just let me ask you some questions. You ready? Before we head off the air. So I have pulled up the leaders here for the season in every category. By the way, do you know who leads the league in passing yards?
Daniel Jones?
It's Daniel Jones, Indianapolis,
Yeah.
2,659 yards. You're right. Who leads the league in passing touchdowns?
We're not talking about receiving touchdowns. We're
No,
talking
passing.
about like
Quarterback.
Oh, okay, yeah, quarterback touchdowns. Goff? I was gonna say Stafford, but I think it's Goff.
It's Stafford.
Oh,
With 25. Good one, though. It's good. You're right there.
Yeah, Stafford's having an unbelievable year. I think he's got like a super low touchdown interception ratio. Like it's insane.
He does.
Yeah, he's going crazy.
All right. So, who leads the league? This is a weird stat, but who leads the league in yards per pass attempt? So,
Like what team?
yeah,
It's a team stat.
which quarterback?
Oh,
So, yards per pass attempt is an indication of how many yards
who's
you're gaining.
trying to throw it the farthest?
Right. Who's getting the most yards out of every attempt? So, do you know who that might be? This is a tough one.
Let's go with Justin Herbert.
It is Sam Darnold
Really?
with 9.9, almost 10 yards per
Frickin'
attempt.
Seahawks.
He also leads per completion, which is 14 yards per completion. So,
Damn.
FYI. Who leads in the most pass attempts per game?
Ooh, let's
Which
go with
quarterback?
Caleb Williams.
It is Dak Prescott.
Oh,
Yeah,
that tracks. He always throws a lot.
it does. Here's your best one. The lowest sack percentage quarterback, right? Who's been sacked the least percentage-wise in terms of dropbacks versus sacks. Does that make sense?
Please tell me it's a trick question and it's like a receiver who's thrown one pass. And
No. You have to have thrown X amount or dropped back X amount of times, but it's an actual quarterback. Lowest sack percentage. Who's been sacked the least in terms of the most times he's dropped back?
Let's go with Bo Nix.
It is Bo Nix, 2.78%. Yeah, nice.
And he still is missing some passes.
Yep. Yeah. Well, there's that. All right. And I already told you who leads the league in rushing attempts, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, longest rush, rushing yards, yards per rushing attempt, rushing yards per game. That's all Jonathan Taylor, so we don't need to cover rushing at all. Who leads the league in receptions? What wide receiver leads the league in receptions?
Oh man,
That's tough.
Who's going off this year? Son of a bee. I don't know.
Guess throw one out.
Njigba.
It is Jamar Chase with 76 receptions. Right?
Nice.
Good. So who leads the league in receiving yards?
I mean, with 76 receptions, it kind of inclines you to take Jamar Chase.
It is Njigba.
God damn it. That's not fair.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, 1,041 yards. He's the first one to pass 1,000 yards.
That means Jamar Chase is just catching up a whole bunch of
they're shorter
bunch of
passes.
underneath
But I
crap.
mean, he might have 1,030 yards or something. I don't know.
Little check down
Right.
king over there.
Who has the most receiving touchdowns this year? With 9.
9.
9
He's caught 9 touchdowns
in 9 games. He has 9 receiving touchdowns.
I'll go with Oh wait, you said Stafford had how many passing touchdowns?
Stafford has 25 at this point.
Jeez, that's a lot of passing. I'm still gonna go with St. Brown.
It is Devontae Adams.
Oh, I freaking even leaned that way too.
I didn't think Devontae Adams, really?
He doesn't have that many yards, but he's gotten into the end zone a ton.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So there you go. There's just a few little stats. Who leads the league in tackles for loss? Not sacks, but tackles for loss.
Ooh, and T's for L's.
Because that sack technically counts as that too, but you know, they're included in there.
I mean, Myles Garrett?
It is Myles Garrett. 17 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
He also leads the league in sacks with 11. But he's tied with Brian Burns of the Giants with 11. Right?
Yeah, but all that doesn't matter because the Broncos lead the league in sacks.
Here's the one I want to give you, right? That I go, okay, what? Who leads the league in fumbles recovered? It's a tough category.
Who causes a lot of fumbles? So
Right.
that would be
That
would be your who. So
That's-
that your Miles Garrett's or TJ
That's
Watts.
who I
or
would have gone
Aiden
with.
Hutchinson's.
That's the way out of lean too. Yes. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not whatever you're thinking is not. That's not right.
It's not those people.
Nope.
So it's somebody is all right. Is it a big name?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
I
What does
mean,
mean?
he's not Tom Brady, but yeah, it's a big name.
Okay, in the defensive tackle, defensive end
No.
realm, he's not a big name in those ones.
Nope.
Son of a biscuit.
I know.
I don't know who is it.
Drake May.
Wait.
It's Drake May. He has 4 fumbles recovered this season.
Stop.
That's cheating, right?
Yes, and how many fumbles does he have?
I don't know. I don't know how many he has, but
He probably got 5 fumbles. and
Daniel
5
Jones
recovered
leads the
fumbles.
league with 8 fumbles, but Drake May has the most fumbles recovered with.
That is a bad. That is a
oh,
bad.
I
beat.
think it's a great one. I think it's a great category. Anyway.
What makes it bad is that you let it after sacks and tackles for loss. So your brain is in the defensive.
Well, it
mindset.
should be a defensive guy, right? It should be.
Well,
Because fumble return yards is a defensive guy. Fumble return touchdowns is a defensive guy. But fumbles recovered, not so much.
let's see if we can.
You gotta fall.
Real quickly
you gotta fall on
dig
the
up
ball, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Who's touched?
I suppose so.
Last one in the NFL. Who's touched the ball the most this year? Most touches.
Most touches. Oh, this has got to be like a. Let's go with Deebo Samuel.
It is Christian McCaffrey. Which
Wow.
makes sense, right? I mean, I get that. All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
You ready for this one?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So this is about the leaders of fumble recovery. So I just did a simple Google, and this is 2018 to 2023.
Okay.
So starting at 2018, Lamar Jackson, then Case Keenum, then Kareem Hunt, then Kyler Murray,
Oh my
then
God.
Justin Fields.
It's always a
then
quarterback,
Tua
right?
Tagovailoa.
Except once.
Yeah. So
Huh.
and the only reason it's Kareem Hunt is because he was picking up what's his name's drops.
I feel like it has to do with mishandled snaps too, right?
Yeah, all time,
Yeah.
all time leaders. These are all time leaders in fumble recovery. Warren Moon's number 1.
Oh my God.
Dave Krieg number 2. Boomer Esiason and Russell Wilson are tied for 3.
Quarterback.
Brady, Kitna, Marino, Tarkenton,
Good
Favre,
Lord.
Fitzpatrick,
All the-
Roethlisberger, Bledsoe, Testaverde, Fouts, Cunningham, Gabriel. It's
It's
literally
got to
just
be drop
quarterback.
snaps. It's got to be just drop.
It's got to be drop
That's what
snaps.
caused the problem.
Or you get hit by a defender
And you still
who
manage to
dodges
fall
the
on
ball
the
loose,
ball,
and you
yeah.
still manage it's
Yeah.
close to you.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I get it.
I don't know how far you have to go back down this list before you get a defensive player, but
You would think, I mean, all the fumbles
It's-
caused and fumbles return yards and touchdowns, that's all defensive players. But yeah, fumbles recovered is an offensive stat, apparently.
Tiki Barber,
Tiki Bar? Oh, he's still a running back.
25. Oh yeah, I guess he's still running back.
Yeah.
Where do you get a defensive player?
You aren't going to get one because they.
No, they have to be on here.
I don't
though.
think so because it's when the things that happen in the backfield where a guy mishandles a snap or mishandles a handoff and they fall on the ball, that happens way more often than a guy causing a fumble. How many times do you see in a game? Oh, he recovered 3 fumbles. That doesn't happen.
But Bud Nerick, what position did he play?
Chuck Bednarik would be he'd be a linebacker, defensive end.
Okay, so he's the first name I recognize going down this list.
But that's
he's
from
at
like
21.
the 60s or something, right?
Yeah, he's at 21. There's a bunch of names I don't know here, like Johnny Gray or Willie Davis, and I don't know some of these names. So there's a
Right.
chance that there's a guy in here that
Is
is a defensive player earlier.
Got it.
But like the difference between the number 29 player is Jay Cutler at 32, and the number
Jake,
107 player is Tony Banks at 21.
He's
So it's
quarterback,
not
too.
like it's only an 8 fumble
Right.
difference, and there's 100 players in there almost.
All right.
So yeah,
Couple of more quick stats for you before we go off the air. You ready?
Yep.
This is college football. Since the college football playoff committee has started making rankings, this was 2014. How many teams have been number 1 in the college football rankings at any point?
8.
9. You're good. That was a good guess. 9, which is good. Can you name them all, or you think that's too hard?
Bama, Clemson, Oregon, Ohio State, Bama, Clemson, Oregon, Ohio State, LSU, maybe not.
Yep. That's 5.
Tennessee.
That's 6.
Son of a Texas? No, wait, no, that would have been too late in the season. That would have been too. They're done by that point.
Yep.
2 more or 3 more.
3 more.
Jesus. A&M.
Two of which have won a national championship.
Oh. A&M is that one of them?
No, they haven't won a national championship.
Oh, well, we said 2 of which, and there's 3 more.
Oh
so
yeah,
I
there's
know
3
it was
more.
the
You're
other.
right. You're right. But it's not.
It was
touchdown.
the other one. Oh, geez. Michigan.
Michigan, right?
Okay. Okay. And we got 2 more. Georgia. Oh,
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yep. Georgia. Yep.
I'm a freaking idiot.
And
Georgia.
then the other one, which you're not going to guess, they were the very first ever number 1 team in the college football playoff rankings.
Really?
Yep.
But I'm not going to guess it.
Probably not. I don't think you'll get it. 2014, number 1 team in the country after week 9.
Florida State?
It's Mississippi State.
Oh. Oh, well, you know.
That was tough.
It's the last time Mississippi State was relevant.
Of the 9 teams, 6 of them won a national championship that have been ranked number 1. Just FYI.
Wow. That's a sad side for Oregon to be on.
Agreed. And then so so I was sitting here looking at where in the initial rankings teams were that won a national championship, right? In the very first ranking, the college football playoff ranking that came out that year, the team that won the national championship, what's the furthest down in the rankings a team has been that won a national championship? That was what I was trying to figure out originally. And I know what it is. It's the very first season, 2014. So you know who won the national championship, right? It's Ohio State.
The farthest down,
Yeah.
somebody's been in the playoff rankings.
At the first ranking, they were
and won it.
Right. So the farthest down, it is Ohio State. That's the team. What rank were they in that initial number, the first ranking that came out when Mississippi State was number 1? What was Ohio State ranked? And they eventually won the national championship.
Let's go with 14.
That's close. 16.
Yeah, that was in the neighborhood.
Since then, number 4 is the furthest down we've had.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's kind of weird though to me. I think like that's really strange. And only one time has it been number 4. That was Bama. And then 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 2. That's where you're normally at when you win a national championship. So
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So anyway, it's pretty interesting. It's the same teams over and over and over again. So
yeah.
And then I looked at non-conference games, trying to pick out who was the best. The SEC, by the way, has the best record against Power 4 teams in non-conference games. And when they say that they're the best conference, maybe they might be. The Big Ten is 4-7 against Power 4 teams in non-conference games. The SEC is 9-4. Some of those are not great teams, but some of them are. The Big 12 is 6-6. The ACC is 5-12. The Big 12 has some weird shit going on, and I just wanted to say this. The Big 12 they are playing games against conference teams that are counted as non-conference games, and I don't understand why.
What?
Everybody plays 12 games, right?
Right.
Okay. There are some of these teams, there are a number of these teams that have 2 legitimate non-conference teams on their schedule and 10 conference teams, but only 9 of them count. And I don't understand what the Big 12 is doing. Let's talk about Iowa State and Kansas State. That first game in Dublin did not count as a conference game.
That's I can't wrap my head around that.
I can't
Playing a
either.
Conference game, but it just not counting as a
I can't understand how that's possible.
Conference game.
It did not count as a conference game. It counted as a non-conference game. There are multiples of those in that conference, and I don't understand how that's possible. But Baylor's only played 2 non-conference games. TCU's only played 2. Arizona, 2. Right? They haven't played the full 3, and they aren't going to because the rest of their games are in conference. It's weird.
Right.
So I don't know how it works.
So that does bring me to a question, though.
Yeah.
Coach Sanders lost again.
Yeah. How long?
Is he on the way out?
He's going to see himself out before he gets fired, right?
I could see something like that happening at the end of the year where he's like, so I'm what's it called? I need to focus on my health.
That, or I'm going to take an NFL job.
Oh my gosh! If an NFL team gives him a job,
they will. Somebody will give him a job.
It'll be the Browns.
It might
where
be.
Shedeur already is. Was that what this was all setting up? They drafted Shedeur late. They planned to fire Stefanski.
That whole that happened just now was amazing.
Yeah,
it's possible.
You heard it live, folks. That's what I sound like when I realize.
Oh my God!
I sound like what I think Chris Pratt looks like when he's excited.
What if? Oh my God, yeah. There was so much. I learned a lot today just by researching a bunch of crap, and I'm like, this is crazy. But
I say all the time, like anytime I realize something, I try and I do a gasp. I try and throw in the Emperor's New Groove thing where I go, the lady at the diner, she didn't talk. And then I do a second gasp and try and do my point.
Yep, that's good. That's good stuff. That's perfect. All right. Anyway, yeah, this has been great. Let's do this again next week. I don't know what your availability is next week. You know,
2 weeks, I'm on a cruise.
It's 2 weeks. It's gonna be 2 weeks away. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna be out. Well, you can do it live from cabin, whatever.
Sure. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that.
Well, yeah, we'll talk more about that. But anyway, it might be 2 weeks, folks. So you might be 2 weeks before we get to the good stuff. But anyway, not a problem. Again, Formula One is off this week. They'll be on Las Vegas in 2 weeks, and then Oregon and Minnesota play this weekend. If you're an Oregon Duck fan, don't miss it. It's 6 o'clock Pacific time. I think it's on CBS. I think it's a late game. Anyway, want to thank ESPN, CBS, NBC, Fox, F1, and anybody else I might have forgotten for your help. And this has been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media, and we'll see you next week.